In 2024, the United States of America is facing an unprecedented crisis. Once hailed as the land of opportunity and freedom, today, it stands on the brink of collapse. If you haven't been paying attention, it's time to wake up. This isn't just another alarmist take, it's reality. Here are the 5 reasons why America is dying, and why you might want to leave before it's too late. The first reason America is dying is its economic collapse. The American economy has always been touted as the strongest in the world, but cracks in the foundation are now undeniable. Inflation is out of control, with the cost of living skyrocketing faster than wages. The middle class, once the backbone of the nation, is being squeezed out of existence. The Federal Reserve's aggressive monetary policies have pushed inflation to historic levels. What's worse, the national debt is spiraling out of control, with no signs of slowing down. The stock market may still be propped up by artificial means, but the real economy, jobs, manufacturing, and the average American's financial stability is in free fall. Job security is a thing of the past, with companies outsourcing more work overseas and automation replacing human labor at an alarming rate. The gig economy is on the rise, but it's not enough to sustain families. More and more Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, with little to no savings to fall back on. As the economy continues to collapse, it's becoming clear that the American dream is just that, a dream. It's time to ask yourself, how long can you afford to stay in a country where your financial future is uncertain? The second reason America is dying is its political instability and civil unrest. The political landscape in the United States has become more polarized than ever before. The divide between left and right, rich and poor, urban and rural, has grown into an unbridgeable chasm. Trust in government institutions is at an all-time low, and the political rhetoric is more toxic than ever. We've reached a point where compromise is no longer possible. The two major parties are more interested in power struggles than in solving the real issues facing the country. The rise of extremist groups on both sides of the political spectrum has led to an increase in violence and civil unrest. This is not the America we grew up in. The 2024 elections have only further deepened the divide. With claims of voter fraud, gerrymandering, and outright corruption, many Americans feel that their voices are no longer heard. This sense of disenfranchisement has led to widespread protests, riots, and even acts of domestic terrorism. The rule of law is breaking down, and it's only a matter of time before the country descends into chaos. If you value peace and stability, it may be time to consider leaving before things get worse. The third reason America is dying is the decline of social services and infrastructure. America was once known for its world-class infrastructure. Its roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals were the envy of the world. But today, that infrastructure is crumbling. Years of underinvestment and political gridlock have left our infrastructure in shambles. Bridges are literally falling apart, roads are full of potholes, and public transportation is a joke. Our healthcare system is on the verge of collapse. Hospitals are understaffed and underfunded, and millions of Americans are uninsured or underinsured. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed just how fragile our healthcare system really is. Public education is also in crisis. Schools are overcrowded and underfunded, teachers are overworked and underpaid, and students are falling behind. The gap between the quality of education in wealthy areas and poor areas is growing wider every day. Homelessness is on the rise, with tent cities popping up in major cities across the country. The social safety net is failing, and more Americans are slipping through the cracks. If you're relying on public services, it's time to rethink your options. The fourth reason America is dying is environmental degradation and the climate crisis. The United States is one of the largest polluters in the world, and the effects of climate change are becoming more severe every year. From devastating wildfires in the west to hurricanes in the south and floods in the Midwest, no part of the country is safe. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it's here, and it's happening now. The American government has failed to take meaningful action to address the crisis, and the results are devastating. From rising sea levels to extreme weather events, the impact of climate change is being felt across the country. And it's only going to get worse. The environmental degradation isn't just limited to climate change. Pollution of air, water, and soil is a growing problem, with industrial waste and toxic chemicals seeping into the environment. Cities are choking on smog, and rural areas are dealing with contaminated water supplies. The government's response has been woefully inadequate. with regulations being rolled back and environmental protections being gutted. If you're concerned about the environment and your quality of life, it might be time to look for a safer, cleaner place to live. The fifth and final reason America is dying is the erosion of civil liberties and the rise of authoritarianism. The United States was founded on the principles of freedom and democracy, but those principles are under attack like never before. Over the past few years, we've seen a dramatic increase in government surveillance, censorship, and the militarization of the police. The line between democracy and authoritarianism is becoming increasingly blurred. Freedom of speech, the right to protest, and the right to privacy are all being eroded. The government is using fear and uncertainty to justify the suppression of dissent. From the Patriot Act to the rise of mass surveillance, the government has been chipping away at your civil liberties for years. Now, with the rise of political extremism and the threat of domestic terrorism, the government is clamping down even harder. The militarization of the police and the use of advanced surveillance technology means that your every move is being watched, and dissent is being crushed. The erosion of civil liberties is a sign that democracy in America is on its last legs. If you value your freedom, it might be time to find a new home. America is dying, and the signs are all around us. Economic collapse, political instability, the decline of social services, environmental degradation, and the erosion of civil liberties are all symptoms of a nation in decline. The question is, what are you going to do about it? For some, the answer might be to stay and fight for a better future. But for others, the answer might be to leave before it's too late. There are other countries out there that offer stability, opportunity, and a better quality of life. The clock is ticking, don't wait until it's too late. If you're thinking about leaving, now is the time to start making plans. Do your research, explore your options, and make the move while you still can. The future of America is uncertain, but your future doesn't have to be. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments, are you considering leaving America in 2024? And if so, where would you go? Stay safe and take control of your future.